This installment of The Ninth Floor will provide visual images of the criminals who attempted to perpetrate a fraud, for monetary gain, on the city of Chicago, by falsely accusing me, and using a 4-year-old, Latino female child, to pretend to be, the victim of a sex crime that never took place. Yes. Parents should watch this program with their children so as to better protect them from the criminals who work at Chicago Public Schools Office of Administrative Hearings, formerly Office of Employee Engagement.
Good evening, and welcome to The Ninth Floor, Episode 4. In the words of President Joe Biden, this is what would be described as a forever fight. These episodes will continue every month until I am fully restored as a Chicago public school teacher. Mayor Lightfoot, you have been sent DVDs of episodes 1, 2, and 3. They were sent to your legal department along with the documents that prove that this entire case is a total and complete fabrication created to extort money from the city of Chicago. They were sent to your legal department. So perhaps you might want to go downstairs to your legal department and say, did somebody named Michael Gleason send you a bunch of DVDs and a long document? Rather than look at this and make a decision not to act, you made a conscious decision to ignore this crime, which proves to me that you may not be fit to govern this city. When I interviewed Toni Preckwinkle some years ago as she ran for alderman, I asked her, what's one of the most important things of your job? And she said, pay attention to what comes across your desk. Don't ignore it. When something comes across your desk, pay attention to it. Mayor Lightfoot, you have chosen to ignore this. Now, tonight's episode has two objectives. I'm going to put pictures and images of the criminals who committed the crimes of 1. Making a false report to the Department of Children and Family Services. 2. Obstruction of justice. 3. Perjury. 4. Suborning perjury. And possibly now, the short version of this whole fiasco is this. There are 6 people. They're the frontline criminals, the wingman, the 2 wingmen, and then there's a whole department known as Department of Employee Relationship and also Office of Employee Engagement. They keep changing their names back and forward. Now, the frontline criminals are the ones who are at Alexander von Humboldt Family Center preschool. They're the ones who actually picked up the phone, made the false report, and ended my 33-year teaching career. They are parent Diana Feliciano, who volunteered her child to play the victim of a sex crime that never took place. Seriously, Diana? Serious? You used your own 4-year-old daughter. She's not even in kindergarten yet. She's in preschool. This child had no clue as to what was happening to her. She was clueless. The interview that is stated in this report is for show. I'm going to come back to that later. Parent Diana Feliciano, you have sent your daughter down the path to become a practitioner of the world's oldest profession. And you are acting like her manager. There's a word for what you did, Diana Feliciano, parent. And according to Big Daddy Kane, it ain't easy. Yeah, see what I did there? Yeah, okay. The other mainline criminal is the teacher assistant, Doris Jimenez. She made a false statement that she perjured herself. She said Mr. Gleason stayed behind to take the child to the bathroom. You committed perjury, Doris Jimenez. And then the main one, Norelis Olivaria, who now works for the Cook County Sheriff's Department as an investigator. This woman sat down by herself and fabricated the whole event. Then there are the two wingmen. The CPS Director of Employee Engagement named Tom Krieger, an attorney, a graduate of Northwestern University. He's the person who read all the evidence, listened to my evidentiary hearing, and then came to the conclusion, this nigger did it. Fire his black ass. The other wingman is my Chicago Teachers Union representative. It took me about a year to figure out her culpability in this. And again, in episode 2, she incriminates herself. She lies at the evidentiary hearing, which I have a copy of. Now, you will notice the crawl and on the bottom of your screen, and you'll also see that there's a QR code. If you scan the QR code, it will take you to my YouTube site that contains episodes 1, 2, and 3. Episode 1 focuses on the mother, Diana Feliciano. Episode 2 explains how my Chicago Teachers Union representative lied at my hearing and intentionally bungled and threw my case. She took a dive. And episode 3 shows in detail how the idiot investigator, Norelis Olivaria, who could not write her way out of a middle school essay assignment, commits no less than 16 acts of obstruction of justice contained in this
officer for this matter this morning. Today's April 9th, 2012. It's approximately 11:15 a.m. We're here for an investigatory conference from Mr. Michael Gleason, who is personally present and is also represented by Union Representative Antoinette Barnes. The matter was, this investigatory conference has been convened based on an allegation, as stated in Ms. Colston's letter dated March 28th, 2012 to Mr. Gleason, quote, this conference is based on an allegation that you intentionally watched a 4-year-old female student use the bathroom. The conference could result in the termination of your employment with Chicago Public Schools, as well as placement of a do not hire designation in your record, end quote. Prior to my turning on the tape recorder, there's an investigatory memorandum in the file, and it's my understanding that Ms. Barnes has received a copy and has had an opportunity to review it with Mr. Gleason. Is that correct, Ms. Barnes?
I just received a copy of the investigative memorandum. Those documents somehow did not make it to our office, and so you gave us a few minutes to go over it before this here.
Okay, so you have had an opportunity to
briefly
review it.
But I did not get a copy of DCFS report, just the investigative memorandum.
The only thing that's in here is the investigative memorandum. Do you need additional time? Because my understanding was that you were going to just let Regina know when you were ready to proceed.
Well, we requested to reschedule this because we didn't have any documents. And they assured us that they had submitted those documents to the Chicago Teachers Union. We have no record of our procedures. The documents are nowhere. They have not even been scanned in.
Did you receive a copy of the incident report?
No.
I petitioned the Board of Education to send me the documents they had pertaining to my case. This is the package that they sent me. Remember, On the tape, on the CD playing, Chicago Teachers Union representative Antoinette Barnes insisted we never got these documents. Let's take a look inside and see what's there. Here is a full shot of the fax cover sheet that was in the package. Let's take a close-up of it. My hearing was scheduled for April 9th. Look at the timestamp on the fax cover sheet. March 30th, 2012. Union Representative Antoinette Barnes insists that we never got the fax. Look at the destination. Chicago Teachers Union, March 30th, 2012 at 12:05. Here's the subject of the fax. Comments. Michael Gleason, April 9th, 2012. This is a letter I received by U.S. mail notifying me of the investigatory conference which will be convened on April 19th, 2012 at 10:30 a.m. in the Office of Employee Relations. This same copy was sent to Antoinette Barnes. Somebody wrote her name on it. This is not my handwriting. I don't know who wrote it, nor do I care. I don't know why the Chicago Board of Education included this sheet with Antoinette's name on it when I picked up my package in demand of all documents pertaining to my case, nor do I care. And once again, as proof that I did not fabricate this document, here is the fax cover sheet timestamp. It's a little bit grungy, but it is the same timestamp as all the other documents that I've displayed in this clip of the show. Chicago Teachers Union Representative Antoinette Barnes insists we never got it, and it would have been 5 pages. They haven't even been scanned in. What does it say here? Pages 5, including cover page. This is page 1 of the investigative memorandum which Chicago Teachers Union Representative Antoinette Barnes insists we never got, not in the union office. Again, here we see the timestamp, the fax timestamp. It's a little bit scrungy, but there it is. There's the timestamp, and what does it say? March 30th, 2012. Chicago Teachers Union, Employee Relations, Chicago Teachers Union. Chicago Teachers Union received this information March 30th. My hearing was scheduled for April 9th. These documents sat in the office of Chicago Teachers Union for 11 days. And my Chicago Teachers Union representative Antoinette Barnes came to my hearing without one sheet of paper in her hand. Also on the site is a video and audio recording of the complete 3-page report that ended my teaching career and destroyed my personal financial life. And also the complete recording of my hearing where Chicago Teacher Union Representative Antoinette Barnes obfuscates, deflects, and makes a travesty of the hearing. They fabricated a story that I intentionally watched a 4-year-old girl as she used the toilet. The charge is and I was investigated and cleared by DCFS. Here is the DCF finding. This comes from the DCFS, Department of Children Family Services. This is what Tom Krieger, the adjudicator, had in his hands at the time he recommended my termination. Dear Mr. Gleason, you were previously notified that this department was investigating a report of suspected child abuse or neglect in fulfillment of its responsibilities under law. Listen carefully. After a thorough evaluation, we have determined the report to be unfounded. This means that credible evidence of child abuse or neglect has not been found. And now, the part you need to really pay attention to, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, are the actions that took place by your appointed officials in the office of Chicago Public Schools Inspector General, Director Will Fletcher, and Deputy Director Philip Wackeneck, and the former Director of the Office of Employee Engagement, Mary Ernesti. I don't know where she works now. Perhaps she saw episode 3 of The Ninth Floor and decided, I got to get the hell out of here. This is getting too intense. Maybe she found a new job. I don't know. And know this, you people. There will be a special investigation. If I have to take this to the Illinois Supreme Court, there is going to be a reckoning. I will be restored. So what exactly is it that the Inspector General is supposed to do? The Office of Inspector General for the Chicago Board of Education is the independent oversight body of Chicago's approximately 650 public, contract, and charter schools. The Office of Inspector General is charged with the responsibility of investigating allegations of waste, fraud, and financial mismanagement in public education within the jurisdiction of the Chicago Board of Education. So now, we will cover an epistolatory version demonstrating how the Chicago Public Schools Office of the Inspector General is covering up the crime that was committed against me and the daughter of parent Diana Feliciano. You see, that child is also being victimized here. She was only 4 years old. She didn't have the ability to say, Mom, I don't want to do this. Mom, I don't want to participate in this. Mom, I think this is wrong. I don't think we should be doing this, Mommy. She just went along with what her mother said. And her mother and the rest of these criminals used that 4-year-old child so that they could charge me, sue Chicago Board of Education for the damages that I caused to this child, collect a settlement, a monetary settlement. Then the criminals split the money amongst themselves. And then Michael has to go to prison, a skinny, gay child molester, or at least someone who's charged like that. And if he survives prison for the rest of his life, has to register as a sex offender. Mayor Lightfoot, this is no joke. This is serious. These people attempted to send me to prison. I was actually lynched twice. I had a job at a charter school. You might say, hey, try the charter schools. So I did. And I spent a year there. Everything was fine. Do you know I'd actually forgot about this case? And then Nick Schuler, Inspector General, finds out, oh, ran off the plantation, did you? Okay, fire him again. And that's where I really lost it. I come across this interesting website. It says if you are on the do not hire list, as I am, there's a way for you to appeal that. I said, well, hey, how about that? There's a chance. Okay, so I follow the steps. and I submit not just a letter, but I submit a 21-page dissertation explaining in detail the falsity of the charges that were brought to me. Mary Nesty, who has now by this time been promoted to director of employee engagement, reads this and says, oh shit, it's him again. Now, I can't prove it. This is what she says. Thank you for all the time and all the supporting information you gave us, blah, 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 blah. We, screw you, nigger. You are still on the do not hire list. So I am not satisfied with this. I'm going to the Inspector General. Unfortunately, I can't copy and paste what I sent to them because the website is designed that way. So I appealed directly to the Chicago Public Schools Inspector General. That's Will Fletcher and Philip Wagenknecht and his ilk. I even make a personal visit down there and spend about an hour and a half down there going over documents. Now, pay attention, Lori Lightfoot. I make a complaint against the Office of Employee Engagement. I make a complaint to the Inspector General against the Office of Employee Engagement. My mail. Dear Mr. Gleason, I am in receipt of your May 3rd, 2019 request to remove the do not hire designation from your personal file. I didn't send you a request on May 3rd, 2019. I sent mine a year ago. Please be advised that on September 21st, 2018, that was my original, the committee issued its decision denying your initial request. Pursuant to the procedures of removal of DCH designation, only one petition every 2 years shall be considered. Therefore, the May 3rd, 2019 petition will not be considered by the committee. But I didn't send you a May 3rd request. This is when it gets to be epistolatory. Mrs. Nesty, why are you continuously sending me these unsolicited letters? I did not make any request to you on May 3rd, 2019. Did you use the position of your office to intercept and or obtain a correspondence I sent to a third party? Do you deny that you obtained a correspondence from a third party concerning my appeal denial? I did not send your office a request dated May 3rd requesting my removal from the do not hire list. The request I submitted was denied on September 21st, 2018. Mary Nesty responds. See how it's epistolatory? Dear Mr. Gleason, Mayor Lightfoot, proof of the cover-up. Proof of the cover-up. Pay attention. Dear Mr. Gleason, the Office of Employee Engagement received your October 12th letter, 2019 letter regarding the May 23rd, 2019 do not hire petition decision letter sent to you. Here's the cover-up, Mayor. You contacted the Office of the Inspector General. Did I not call it? She intercepted a third party. I sent it to somebody else. How did she get it? You contacted the Office of Inspector General in May 2019 contesting your termination and do not hire and asking that your name be cleared, which was forwarded to our office and processed as a do not hire removal petition. You intercepted my letter. That means the Inspector General took the letter I sent them and sent it to the people I was complaining about. This is happening on your watch, Mayor Lightfoot. What? I respond. Dear Ms. Nesty, in a letter I received from you dated January 7th, in this letter attached, you stated the Office of Employee Engagement received your letter October 12th, 2019, blah, 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 blah. and requested a petition decision letter sent to you. You contacted the office, that's me, contact the Office of the Inspector General. It is not clear what contact I sent to the Office of the Inspector General that was forwarded to you to be processed as a do not hire removal petition. Please send me a copy of this alleged contesting of your termination and do not hire to be processed by you. Letter, contact me at the following address. They're playing games, Mayor Lightfoot. This is a cover-up. It's called delay, deflect, misdirect. Mayor Lightfoot, I think by this time these people are actually playing games, having fun, and laughing about the whole thing. Now listen to the stones on these people. This is from somebody named Adina Janasic from Office of the Inspector General. And at the bottom it says Office of Inspector General. And I don't know who Mr. Nelson is, but this is what was sent, returned. So I complained to the Office of Inspector General. They take my complaint and they send it back to the Office of Employee Engagement. Dear Mr. Nelson, the Office of Inspector General has received a complaint that is being referred to you via this email. The OIG will not be conducting an investigation into this matter, which is being forwarded to you for whatever action you deem necessary or appropriate. These are your appointees, Mayor Lightfoot. I have a complaint against employee engagement. I complained to the Office of the Inspector General. They take my complaint and send it right back to the Office of Employee Engagement and put them on notice. Hey, y'all, that nigger you fired about back in 2012, he's back again. Y'all better do something about this. But then to show you that these people really don't care, they're going to reach down, grab their meat, and say, listen to this, boy. Proof that this is a cover-up. Gleason provided numerous supporting documents, including the CPS Investigative Memorandum, file number 5714, appeal to the Board of Education. Listen to this, Mayor Lightfoot. The DCFS later, which found the report to be unfounded. Everybody in this office knows that I didn't do this crime. They have the evidence in their hands, and they grab their meat and say, yeah, we got that letter. We know what it says. It says the charges are unfounded. You know what they did back in slavery times? They found a free black man and said, oh, you come with us, boy. They said, no, I'm free. And these are my papers. These are my freedom papers, also known as papers of manumission. You know what they did with it? You're going back to the plantation, boy. Yep, that's what it says. That's what it says. DCFS. These charges are unfounded. And we fire you, boy. You stay fired. These are your appointees, Mayor Lightfoot.